Alright guys, today we have the Henry AR-7, and this one's kind of modified. So enjoy the shooting footage, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, welcome back. Today we have the AR-7, and this one's a little special, so like and subscribe. Trying to get up there. Anyways, so this is a Henry AR-7, or as they like to call it, their Henry U.S. Survival Rifle. Is what they call it, but it is based off the original Armalite AR-7, which was designed in 1959 as a improvement on the AR-5. The original Armalite AR-7 was actually adopted by the U.S. Air Force to use as a survival rifle with their soldiers. Essentially, they would have one of these in their planes. If they went down, they would have a small, compact rifle to hunt and defend themselves with, and you know, hopefully, you can get themselves back to safety. The original setup for this particular one comes inside of this stock. It's labeled U.S. Survival, and their major selling point for the AR-7 is that the whole weapon fits inside of this stock. The receiver, the barrel, and 2 magazines fit inside of this stock. And when you buy these, they come with 2 10-round magazines. Alright, these might be 7, I don't remember. And everything's supposed to pop inside of here into a nice little semi-waterproof little compartment, and it's supposed to float. Now, I haven't done a float test with this. My main reason why I went away from this stock to that, because I'll explain a little later on, but one of the main reasons is the angle. It actually sits off to slightly to the right, so the cheek angle is a little weird looking down the sides. You have to kind of move your head over, and this thing is so fat and wide that it's kind of uncomfortable a little bit. It's not super bad, but it's a little weird feeling like this. The original barrel it comes with is now is one of these. It's just a 22 sleeve, fitted in, I don't know if it's some type of composite or plastic. Little orange sight, make it real visible. The original real sight on this is a Peep sight. I'll show you in a second. But it came with these, and I actually have 2 of these because the whole reason I built this rifle into what it is now was to be a accurate backpack foldable weapon for hiking and stuff like that. And to me, as a survival rifle, it needs to be able to do some things. For me, floating's not that big of an issue. There's almost, besides the survival rifles, that's never really a thing when it comes to, you know, what a survival rifle is. But, you know, all the rifles that are in this class, most of them have that kind of float thing aspect to them, but it's not that big of a thing for me. So that, and then the way the stock felt, big issue and killer for me. But for me, for a survival gun, it needs to have a certain level of accuracy. I have fairly bad eyesight. It's not horrible, but it gives me a little bit of problems with using certain types of iron sights. And for me, the Peep sight and this really thick blade on here wasn't accurate enough for me. For me, if I'm using a survival rifle, I'm using it to hunt. I feel like I need to be able to hit something like a rabbit in the head at about 50 yards. That's reasonably accurate. That's not asking too much either. If you got a scope in 22, there are tons of 22s out there that will hit a rabbit in the head at 50 yards. No problem at all. My Remington 597 would do that. Pretty much any 22 will do that. Even semi-autos will do that. You don't even need a bolt gun for that kind of accuracy out of a 22. This did not have that with the regular barrel. Even with a scope on this, which I put my trusty old fake hog on this thing at one point, and because of the way that this is set up, being able to take it down, you have it to where you lose that accuracy in that zero, and I could not get it to get anywhere near where I wanted. So I went ahead and first I wanted something a little bit more ergonomic. So I went and got this adapter from Hogue Defense that adapts a AR-15 pistol grip and a 1913 style pickerel on the back of it for SIG style stocks, and I'll talk about this stock in a little while. So I wanted something that would make it a little bit more ergonomic, easier to handle. Definitely having a pistol grip on this thing makes it a lot easier to handle. And then of course I went with one of the ones that's got the storage compartment in it because it's a survival gun, so I want a little bit of storage. If I can get this thing open. Yeah, so it's got a reasonable amount of storage in there. You can definitely put probably 60 rounds of 22 long rifle in there if you wanted to. I believe even, I'm not sure, but let me check and see. The magazines might even fit in there. Oh, so close. Yeah, I think I probably tried that at one point. But the magazine just barely doesn't fit in. I'm going to just go ahead and leave that out. But the magazine just barely doesn't fit in there. But you definitely could keep loose ammo in there. For sure. And pack it really tight. And you could have, if you're using it just for hunting, to feed yourself, you can definitely put enough ammo in there to get yourself by for a minute. The Hogue Defense adapter does have QB mounts on it on both sides. And they are changeable. So you can have a QB style socket on there in order to, for a sling and whatnot. Now, the barrel is a heavy barrel from AR-7.com. And so is this cantilever rail on here. So, after not being able to get the accuracy I wanted out of the original barrel, I actually contacted Henry and let him know, hey, I got this AR-7. I've put 2 or 3 different types of ammunitions through it. I might have did more of that with a scope, and I could not get any accuracy out of it. It was all over the place. I couldn't get it zeroed at all. And sure enough, they sent me out a free barrel. And the difference between the new barrel is actually kind of interesting. So this is the original barrel that came with the gun when I bought it. And I've actually had this gun for a couple years now. But I got a lot thicker shank on this. This one's got a lot more removed off of it. Not much difference back here, but the difference was really up here on the muzzle. It's got the new barrel had a far more severe crown put into it as opposed to this, to the original one. So, I got that barrel, I tried it out, still couldn't get the accuracy I was wanting. So I did a little better research and I found, okay, well, you know what? This solid steel barrel, it's a heavy barrel, and they came with a cantilever mount, so I went and did that. That way I could have my scope mounted to the barrel and not on the frame. So part of the reason with these not keeping accuracy is the fact that the scope is on the receiver and not on the barrel, and because this is a quick takeoff barrel, it screws on and off, it will not hold zero as well or be as accurate. So I went with this full barrel here. Came with the cantilever pre-drilled in it. Cantilever is sold separately. Got it. And then this barrel actually is threaded on it, but it's got an odd thread, so I got an adapter that adapted to the thread pitch to I think 5/8 by 24, and I just got a A2 birdcage on it from one of my ARs, you know, spare part on it. I only have this on here specifically just for, you know, protecting the threads, and it looks cool. I did, in order to get it to kind of set up right, I did have to fiddle with spacers and stuff like that to get it orientated correctly. But as far as I got this, I did start getting better accuracy out of it, and this is just a little 3/9 by 32 Remington scope. This is actually a scope that came off of the 957, which on that rifle, this scope is very accurate. I can hit a battery at 50 yards with it, no problem. But I still could not get the accuracy out of it. I'm assuming this barrel has a specific ammunition that it likes. I messaged AR-7.com to see if they knew what type of ammunition it likes, but I couldn't get any response from them. So, I kind of shelved it. It was at the end of the season was when I last messed with this, just before Christmas. I haven't been able to mess with it since, and I probably won't mess with it again until winter time, when hunting season comes back around. Probably September, a little after September's October, maybe it's next time I'm going to start fiddling with this. But there is another project that I am kind of debating switching over to for my backpack survivor rifle, and it's going to be a little work in progress. I haven't done much on it, but that's just a little tip, you know, just a little hint of what that might be later on. But I'm a little bit more excited about that, but I haven't done much work with it. So back to this. Now we go back to the stock. Like I mentioned, it has the pickerel on the back of it, so you can put SIG style stocks on it. But what I went with this is I went to cncwarrior.com, and I got this wire folder stock that actually goes to an AK, and it actually folds pretty easily. It's hard doing it at this angle, but you just push it down and folds over. And there you go. And it folds just over like that. And of course, with it being a survivor rifle, how could you not have paracord on it? So I wrapped it with a bunch of paracord. There's probably 30 or 40 feet, if not more, paracord on this stock. Doesn't really make it any more comfortable or anything like that, but it does give a little bit of something on there just in case. So as far as the controls on these, I'm not going to take this one apart right now because it could mess with my zero on it. But it is direct blowback. When stored away, you got your charging handle kind of in here, and you just pull back, safety fire right there, and then your mag release is right here inside of the trigger guard. The mag release is a little weird and hard to get a hold of, hang of. Now, as I mentioned earlier, let me pull this stock so I can put it in here. It does have a Peep style sight on it for the regular irons, and it does come. It is slightly adjustable for elevation. It does have two different apertures on it. It's got a screw on the back of it. You undo that screw, and you can slide the sight up and down, or you can rotate it around. If you take the that plate off, it's just a big hole back there. So. Now, I do really like this stock, and I'm actually going to be putting this stock on a different gun. It's going to be getting shared between this gun and another one. That gun's been on the channel already, but it hasn't had a review on it yet, because I haven't had a chance to shoot it. But I am going to be kind of updating it, because there is a bit of a project on that. Anyways, so back to this. The accuracy I've had on it, I'm not impressed with for this rifle. It's awesome. It's fun. I can ring still on a human-sized target pretty accurately, no problem. What is it about? I've been trying to get the accuracy set in using a lid to a 5-gallon bucket as my target, and it just kind of walks all over the place. I can't get it to zero in on a single spot, and I can't get it to be reliably inaccurate. Um, you know, sometimes you have a gun that's it's off zero, but you can reliably know where it's off, and you can, you know, kind of adjust for that. This thing kind of just shoots all over the place on that bucket lid. It's all on that bucket lid if I'm, you know, centered on it, but it's not the kind of accuracy that I want. I want to be able to hit a rabbit in the head at 50 yards or less, and I can't count on this thing to do that, which is a shame because I would love this to be, you know, the gun I throw in my backpack, you know, when I go backpacking, or, you know, I'm doing an overnight or something like that. But I can't rely on it for that. Now, a lot of people say, you know, the scope kind of, you know, undoes the whole what this gun's for, but like I said, for a survival rifle, you need to be able to take a small game reliably, and having an optic on it is the best way to do that, especially if you have, you know, not as great vision. So anyway, so like I said, the way that it's set up now is far more expensive than what I would like to have it set up for what the performance I'm getting out of it. The base gun, you know, with the normal barrel and everything like that, they normally go around 200, 250. Sometimes you can get them a little under. You can get them like 170 something, depending on where they're at, if they're on sale. The barrel, I can't remember what it was, but it was over $100 on itself. Cantilever, that was like $50. This adapter, can't remember what it was, but I think it was like 80 something. Of course, the grip, you know, this style AR grip handle right here is I don't know, like $30. And then this folding stock here was $200 something. But I feel less bad about this than I do about this because, well, this stock has QB point in it already. It's a foldable, and because of its the rail mount system, I can put this on any type of rifle that I can fit a pick rail to the back of. So I'm actually working on that right now for another gun because I like this stock a lot better than the folder that's on that one. So if you want something that's a good little backpack gun, this is pretty much where you're at. As far as a semi-auto. Now, there are other survival guns that are break actions. I believe Chiappa has got one. They got their Excalibur system. I believe it's a 410 over 22. Or it could be the other way around. And then, of course, they got a bunch of adapters to go with it. And I think they got a 12 gauge version over 22 as well. And there's a few others that are out there that do survival guns. There actually is the AR-7 was actually, I know the Israelis serviced it, fielded it for their Air Force, and they had a slightly different modified version of it. Now, there is another company, Charter Arms, that actually made the AR-7 as well, and I want to say they called it the AR-7 or the survival rifle, but they did make a pistol version of this as well that they called the Explorer, I believe. And basically it was, well, minus this, minus the buttstock, and then, you know, like a little 8-inch barrel on it, you know, real Han Solo looking. And I would love to find one of those. But they, you know, those are pretty hard to come by. But as far as I know, those are the only ones who have made the specific one. There may have been a couple others over the years who made the AR-7. And as far as other survival rifles, you're usually stuck to break actions. So, you know, that is what it is. But as a semi-auto, this is where you can go. You could do a Ruger 1022 with some of their stocks. You can get like that. They have folders and stuff like that, and they do have a Papoose takedown barrel and stuff. So accuracy, I don't know how accurate those are, but that's an alternative. But as far as lightness and handiness, this it's a really tight package. If I didn't have the scope on it, and I could use the regular barrel on it, you could have this reasonably packable. You can, the AR-7.com, I believe they also have fluted barrels as well for these, so you can reduce the weight on these barrels a lot. And this barrel is pretty heavy, so if you were going to do a fluted barrel, the Hogue Defense, pistol grip, folding stock, and like say a red dot or something on here, and you weren't trying to get that rabbit head at 50-yard accuracy, you could make this a very packable gun. You could put this easily inside of a backpack. If you were to go the SBR route on it, or do a pistol brace on this, you could do an SBR. This would be really neat. So let's say 8-inch barrel, folding stock, easily backpack gun. If the accuracy was there, I would easily pick this over any other option. As far as operating, this thing does run pretty good. It's 22, so every once in a while you get, a bad round in there. You gotta, take it out, pop back in the mag, let it get hit on the rim in a different spot. But as far as operating, it runs pretty good. I haven't had any issues with it that I could say that wasn't ammunition related. As far as takedown is, because the way I got it set up, it's not set up in a way that would take down. Cleaning's pretty simple. Once you got the barrel off this pin, you bring it back all the way. Well, once the barrel's off, the bolt can actually move forward just a little bit, and you can actually take this charging handle out, and then the bolt comes out the front. That's really all you have to do for cleaning. Pretty simple. Anyways, I'm not sure what I'm doing next week yet. I'm out of pistols that I've reviewed. I do have another long gun that's going to be on there, and I believe I have a little bit of footage for that little stainless steel guy right there. So I might do that. I don't know yet. But I am trying to get out. I do have some other guns that I have not had a chance to shoot yet. I got some that I'm building right now, working on. So I don't know what I'm going to do just yet. I am going to have a video next week, but just not sure what just yet. Anyways, AR-7, if you want backpack gun, you don't mind this style stock, and you just want something to throw in the backpack, go for it. If you can find them, they're cheap enough to just have it. What I always say is, guns are investment, so it's better to have it than not have it. You can always sell it later on if you don't like it, but I'm going to be keeping this one in my collection, and I'll probably keep tinkering with it a little while and see if I can get that accuracy. And if I do, I'll come back and get an update on it. And I may do some hunting and stuff with it like that. Anyways, I'll see y'all guys next time. Y'all have a good one. Be sure to come over here and subscribe. And of course you have to hit the little bell. Otherwise, we won't show up in your notifications each time we post a new video. And check us out on Facebook and give us a like. We post all of our content there as well, as long as some pictures that we take. Speaking of Instagram, you can check us out on Instagram too. We post all of our pictures, some short clips that don't end up on YouTube, along with a little bit of funny stuff, some game recipes, and we're also on Twitter. You can check us out on there, some of our posts. We keep everyone kind of in the queue along what we're on to and what we're up to and what we're doing, along with some other posts about some other things that we like. So be sure to check us out on Patreon. We could always use the support. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up, but that stuff kind of isn't cheap, so every little bit of support helps and will help us get out some good content for everyone to see.